Hi Anders, it's me again. So part two. I was in page 22, uh, and my question is, how can we build long-term conditions for organization if the world is changing so fast? We have fast-paced conditions in every aspect of our life. Anything that we might predict for the future is actually a reflection of the present of our actual mindset and paradigm. So everything is determined or can be predicted as a slight reflection using the analogy with physics. Is that was my question at the beginning. Now page 24. What have you learned from philosophy? What philosophy has taught you? This is one of my questions. And then, what do you mean with to present the words to pioneers? What do you mean with that? And then I have a comment about individualism. For me, individualism is turning into solitude. This might be the era, ironically, this might be the time of loneliness in the plenty hyperconnectivity century. And then, reality is not the main space anymore. That's wow, it's amazing. For me, I'm 34. Reality is still being the main aspect, the main space. I think there is a part of the millennials, like me, that is actually suffering this kind of disassociation, because they grew up of much of their life with another balance of real and tech space or reality, and now they are trying to engage within the new tendencies and that touch part of our values. And then I have a question about here an strange concept. The values. What is the exactly meaning for that? I just can't find that concept in that page, so forget it. The last question for page 24. You say more than ever we need to combine those fields. How can we combine them? That's my question. Page 25. We were and we are terrible. Sorry, we were and we are terrible mistake checkers. We are terrible checking our mistakes. For me, then a note. You say I think that a person that is trying to find his real authentic self, that the being that authentic self lying in the backward in the backyard of the capitalism society, because we are so distant for ourselves, surrounded by this technology war and the modern society that capitalism push away our authentic self. Then you said that we need to stay curious and learn. This is a real challenge, to foment the curiosity and to relearn every few years. That's a really a big challenge for almost anyone. And then you said something about capitalism, but again it reminds me to Miss Martin Heidegger, Dasein. The capitalism is the study of things, and we forget about the study of beings. and we concentrate so much on things, in like the ontico. It's ontico is the word in Spanish. I don't know how to say in English. Like this ontological is about being, and the study of the things. You know, we focus too much on things, and so we lost our dreams and something to believe in. My question is, how can we recreate the faith in ourselves? Then my own story in the last years is like it's it sounds like this. I lost the playfulness and the freedom because I was so worried about my personal and professional growth. So I forget about enjoying what I was doing, and that's took me to real hard times. I would like to say that we battle the joy. You know, we like in a supply chain. We battle a lot of things. We battle the joy as like another, just like another product. And then you said, if you can do it, you can do it. It sounds me to the like the entrepreneurs over like positivism. I work in a VC company and in an incubator company and accelerator company in Argentina. So it sounds me to the really to the entrepreneurs that are really positive about everything. And finally, in page 25, you talk about the concept of having a job. The concept of having it all, it's a problem for the new 20, 30 years. You know, we won't have things anymore. Thinking backwards, well, page 28. I really want to create this bridge, you know, between business and philosophy again. Bridge between the work of the genius into the today's business world. I want to do it. I really want to do it. I really want to join those words. I have already started trying, starting again to read philo and writing ideas about it, and I firmly believe that philosophy will save humans, will save humanity, not technology. And at this point, I'm interested in know more about your professional history, your background, because it was the first time I saw a business philosopher on LinkedIn. Do you know about others like you, more outliers trying to connect those two words? For me, it would be really interesting to connect with more like-minded people. And you ask, like, what will these geniuses think if they had our technological understanding and access to the digital network within the cumulative progress of an academia and science? This is my question. I guess the big question of humanity haven't changed a lot. Since Socrates or Plato. Maybe the tech has given us new ways to try to respond them, but the truth is that we are not closer than them. Maybe we are maybe we are more far away. Question like, what are we here? You know, what is life? What is death? Is democracy the best choice? Imagine scenarios. Maybe Plato might fall interested about initiative like Democracy OS, willing to correct the democracy systems, Or maybe Hyder will kill himself, seeing that the tech advance has only contributed to the inauthentic being. Contribute to empower the Dasein to create more inauthentic being with all the news feeds and the addictions to the news and the social media. Maybe Marx will realize that the capitalism had conquered the world and nothing happens. There is no revolution. Then you said, come up with the desperately needed new questions. Maybe the question is all that we really need. Questions to keep looking for meaning and answers. Questions that empower us to go beyond and to keep faithful in the idea that one day we will find the arsenal we need. Just a personal reflection. For me, one of the thoughts learning was, and yet it is, that to distinguish between what I want and what I really need. Page 29. That someone is the man who... Sorry. Sorry, page 29. You write about someone comes and changes our perception, then new stories are created. I think that someone is the man who set free in the Plato's cavern allegory, history, always, and that someone is always very open, and we often pass by with people like that, but we don't realize the opportunity. I don't understand that the only real thing we have in stuff is that we can either suffer or love. I don't understand that. And there is no difference in the reality. The difference for me is in the way we each of us view or see the reality. Expressing our unique thoughts, it's the most important thing we can do for the world. In my opinion. An answer: can we really master the game of life? As a popular Argentinian singer said, wisdom is always late. Next. So the machine and I, for the next section.